Hey everyone, it's Megan with AboveReviewStudio.com. Here is another part of the Expression2 and something that I'm going to be creating with it. It is a Tuesday tutorial. I'm going to make a full project start to finish. I am going to be using the Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge, but I'm really going to be focusing on my Gypsy. I kind of altered an image a little bit to make it stretch and fit, kind of my idea of what I want it to be, and we'll see. Fingers crossed it works out for me. But you guys are going to find out with me. I'm going to be using some adhesive back cardstock. You can use either the Post-it craft paper or Silhouette adhesive backed cardstock. Either will work fine for this project. And I'm going to use the My Acrylics. This is the Just For You set. And I'm also using paper from the Cute as a Button Megan Elizabeth kit. The only thing that's not in the kit or for the paper is the adhesive back cardstock. Everything else is in the kit as far as paper I'm using. Alright, so I have my design already in here. I'm going to actually shift it around just a little bit to make sure it all fits on here for me. You can do this however you need to, want to, etc. do this. But I think this will Alright, I am going to get this started. So I have my USB cable plugged into my Gypsy and the back of my machine. So there's a little, there's the square end and the little mini flat end. Mini flat end in your Gypsy, and then there's just a little port right next to your power cable right in the back. You don't have to worry about cartridges or anything like that. We're going to turn our machine on. I'm actually going to remove the cartridge altogether. And with my paper, I'm going to make sure that I am lined up with the way it is on my virtual cutting screen here. So I have my Gypsy. I have the arrow pointing here, so I have my arrow there. Okay, so I want to place my paper on my cutting mat the way it's on there, and I just want to make sure that everything is lined up. So my images are going to cut up in this corner here, because this is where my arrow is, that's where your arrow is. Make sure that all matches. You're going to want to load that arrow in first. What you're going to do is come to your Gypsy once it's all plugged in, and then you're going to go to your cut screen. So there's a little cut icon right on there. You're going to hit cut, and you're going to have to load in. It says it's connected to your Gypsy. You have to load your mat. So press the load mat button on your Gypsy. You want to use your Gypsy device as your control, not your touch screen. Paper's loaded, everything's in place. You can check your blade depth, speed, and pressure. 4, I'm on 5, that's perfect. And I'm going to press cut. Now it's going to say make sure you check your blade depth before, hit OK, and you should be good to go. So we're not using the LCD screen at all when we use our Gypsy with the Expression2. Same exact feature function as when you're using the original Cricut. You don't use any of the touch control pads, you just use your Gypsy device. If you're really struggling with your Gypsy, again, full A to Z DVD on how to use your Gypsy. It's 4.5 hours long, maybe even longer than that. Everything that you need to know is in there, okay? Okay, so here's my pile of everything that we're going to be using. I have my cardstock base. This is going to be a card, and it is 8.5 by 11 cut in half. Actually, it's not even 8.5, 11 cut by half. It was a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I cut it to 8.5 by 5.5 so that I could fold it in half and make an A2 size card. So this color paper comes in most of the kits. There's solid cardstock, and it's a little bit of a variety. So some might have a lighter pink, some might have a lighter purple, but it all coordinates in that kit, which is awesome. Cute as a button. Cute as a button. And there's tons of buttons in there. We're doing a lot of fun stuff with that, so I'm excited. All right, so I have some strips of paper. I have these cute little cherries and flowers that I might use, I'm not really sure. You get a sheet of paper layers in there. I'm using the Happy Dots one, but you may get something a little different. You can use the pink, you can use the orange, the yellow, the teal. You do get 2 sheets of paper layers, so I can tell you that much. That definitely comes with it. So we're gonna lift off our images, and I accidentally cut all the way through. I was not thinking about I wanted to do a kiss cut. It doesn't really matter. If I did a kiss cut, it wouldn't have cut through my backing sheet, and I would have been able just to peel the shapes right off of the backing instead of the cutting mat. It's not, again, not a big deal. You just pull the shapes off. And I made extra. I'm probably not going to use these. I just wanted to use a little bit more. of the paper just so I had the option. All right. Really what I'm using and focusing on is this shape right here. And this is from, like I said, the Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge. And I kind of expanded the teardrop to make it wider because it's gonna go in the corner of my card. And I'm making kind of a ray effect card, but I want it to be rounded. I don't want it to be straight out rays. I want it to be rounded off. So the way I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna use this shape as my base, and I'm gonna start at the bottom, and I'm gonna go all the way around using different shapes of paper, and or strips of paper rather. And I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna use this Clouds paper. I love, love, love the paper in this kit. It's my favorite this year so far. We always come out with really cute things, of course, but this is just adorable. So what we're gonna do is start right here. I'm gonna start in the corner and go right up. Now, you might need to use some extra adhesive, and that's totally fine, totally okay to do. Planned on doing that. And you could do this in shapes. You don't have to do this in, you know, you could scallop border punch this, and you could do all kinds of different fun punched out shapes if you wanted to. You don't have to do it just the way I am. All right, let's see. I'm gonna make this a little thinner. I love the chevron pattern. Chevron's so hot right now. It's like the biggest thing in scrapbooking. If you're not doing chevron, you're not doing it right. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see, line up. Line up, everybody, line up, line up, line up, everybody outside. Okay, you guys probably don't watch Bubble Guppies. Probably sound like a freak. My kids love Bubble Guppies. They love them. Cute little floral pattern here. Again, I'm gonna go back and cut this all out, but just so I can use the paper over and over again. And before I do the yellow, let's do something a little longer. Let's do the, I'm gonna go back to the blue chevron again, I think. Let's do a tiny little strip of that. And let's do, all right, a pink layer. And finally a yellow of the paper layers right along this outer edge here. Okay, now what we need to do is go back around and we need to cut out all that excess because we don't need it all. So you just want to follow the shape that you made. And you can do this with pretty much any shape out there. You don't have to do it with any one particular thing. There's a little bit of lift. There wasn't quite enough adhesive on that yellow, so just grab a little bit of a wet adhesive. Just a little, all you need to tack that down. If there's anything else that sticks up, you can do that too, but you don't want it to pop up on you. And that just makes a really cute kind of raise pattern. And it could be a really cute like hot air balloon if you use this as a hot air balloon and you drew a little basket or you used a little basket and made some strings coming down. It's just adorable. So you can do a lot with this little shape, all from one little thing. But I'm gonna have it coming out of the corner of my card, and I'm gonna round the corners of the card except for this bottom one. So I'm gonna round this one and that one. Using my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. We're gonna do 1/2 inch. Make sure that really gets in there. And you know what, actually I'm gonna just leave those bottom. I'm just gonna do the top too. We'll leave the bottom two flat. That looks good. All right. And instead of going all the way in the corner, I think I'm gonna grab some more paper layers and I'm gonna make a background on this card. I think it's a little too much pink. I don't think I made it quite big enough, which is fine. Let's see. I should actually measure this. We want it to be, let's do 4 inches by 5 inches. That should be plenty good. Okay, yeah, that works. I'm gonna place this down and I'm gonna round, once again, rounding corners. I'm gonna do all 4. Or no, I can't do all 4 because I have this. I'll do the top 2 again. 1/2 inch. That'll work. We'll use some glue glider to adhere this down. I am gonna grab some Bachelorette Megan Elizabeth ink edgers. I'm gonna ink all the edges all the way around of this to give that pink completion and separation right from the background sheet. But it's a fun, like, offsetting color. Really works. Okay, and this, I love this little stamp set. It says, "A note for you." And we're going to use that. But what I wanted to show you about this stamp set as well is that these are the little shapes. This is the flower. These little petals are the shapes that when you stamp these out, cut these out, you can then go, if you cut them out in the size, stamp right on them. Stamp right on each one, and you can create different backgrounds and fun things. So this doesn't really fit with the card I'm doing today, but I wanted to show you that that was the purpose of this stamp set with these shapes in the Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge. All right, we're gonna use the Lush. This is the purple color of the Megan Elizabeth ink. Really juicy. I'm gonna stamp this down before I get too ahead of myself. Just as a note for you. So this font is called, I know for a fact it's called Ma Sexy, and it's available at defont.com. So if you want it to cut out shapes, or if you want it to print stuff out and you wanted that font to match your stamp, you could go in and you could do that, which is really cool and a great option. So that's a good thing to know. And when you start learning about fonts and you know fonts, you can pick them out and then you can really use them in your scrapbooking and card making beyond just, you know, the stamp sets that you have in your collection. All right, so we're gonna come out here with our little arrays. I'm going right in the corner. It looks adorable. White gel pen, if you don't know me. I don't know if I've used my white gel, I probably have. I'm about to say I don't know if I've used my white gel pen recently, but I'm, come to think of it, almost sure I have. I'm gonna do a double stitch, so I'm gonna offset light pink, dark pink with the white. And that's probably a little difficult to see on the white there, but there it is. So do a little light, a little dark. Final thing I did, and I didn't show because I had to get really close, but I took my white gel pen and I went all the way around to create kind of a faux shadow. We did that pink inking, and now we're doing that little bit of a faux white shadow all the way around. Last thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of extra dimension. I want to add a flower that matches the flowers in here. So I'm going to use this red one. I'm going to pop it up on here, I think. I'm going to see how it looks before I commit to it completely. But we're just going to cut it out. I don't know what happened to my tonic shears. I was using them just a little bit ago, and they've gone MIA on me. I just realized there are these stickers that we include with the kit. I think they're going to be too big, but I was wondering how the... No, doesn't work. But these chipboard stickers are in the kit, which are really cool. All right. I'll cut out. Oh, that's gonna look cute. We're gonna raise that up, pop it up. Use some Megan Elizabeth adhesive combo pack. Has the You Cut It foam in it. And this is now available at Glue Arts. So FYI on that. Pop this up right here. It's gonna go right there in the corner. And can't ignore the sparkle lights. I'm going to use the Chillax Blue and a little bit of Scotch Quick Dry. We're just going to do a little tiny little dot. You don't need much. You could also use an adhesive square. Place that right in the center of the flower. And there's our card for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed and you got something fun out of this. You saw how to use the Cricut Expression2, the Gypsy, and something different. I hope you enjoy. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.